So if you were to like just completely strip away all the random variables of your life, you
Yep.
know, the bank tellers, the alarm clocks, the small talk, all those unexpected little surprises.
Right, the friction.
Exactly, the friction. If you get rid of all of that, do you finally achieve ultimate peace? Or do you like just cease to exist entirely?
That is the big question.
It really is. And today we are unpacking a brilliant piece of audio fiction that tackles this exact premise. We're doing a deep dive into the AudioZoo Network's anthology series.
Oh, this one is so good.
It is. It's the story of Season 1, The Absurdities and Vicissitudes of Life. And specifically, we are looking at Episode 1, which is called The Story of Amadeus Nickels, the Man Who Wasn't.
Written by Jerry Bader.
Yes, the original script by Jerry Bader, along with the official promotional poster. And our mission today is to really figure out if a completely frictionless life is actually worth living, or if, you know, being annoyed is simply the price of existence.
Well, the visual branding on that poster, it lays down that thematic challenge instantly, like right away.
Yeah, it's pretty striking.
It is. It features this stark, really gritty black and white image of a man in a vintage fedora. But his face, he doesn't have one. It's just smooth, blank skin.
So unsettling.
And clipped to his lapel is a literal checklist, and it reads, average, invisible, alphabetical, unpredictable.
Which is a wild combination of words.
Right. It immediately tells you this story isn't, it's not about some grand hero's journey. It's about a man who has basically weaponized his own routine to become a ghost.
You know, I look at that checklist and the word average really stands out to me because it is wildly misleading.
So,
Well, the audio drama's narrator repeatedly refers to Amadeus as this average man, right? A little man of little consequence. He basically calls him a human stock photograph.
the human stock photograph, yeah, that's the exact quote.
But if you look at the mechanics of his daily life, they are anything but average. I mean, for 20 years, Amadeus wakes up at exactly 7:27 a.m.
Right, 7:27 on the dot.
Exactly. And he doesn't use an alarm clock or a phone or any external stimulus at all. Whether it's a weekend or his, you know, mandatory annual 2-week vacation or sick day at 7:27 a.m., his eyes just snap open.
It's biological automation at that point.
Yeah.
And that absolute rigidity, it governs every subsequent second of his morning.
Yeah.
Like Bader's script breaks it down almost like a mathematical proof.
Oh, the timeline is insane.
It's 3 minutes in the bathroom, 2 minutes brushing his teeth,
Yeah.
a 7-minute shower, and exactly 4 minutes to dress.
Every single day.
Every single day. And his breakfast never deviates either.
Yeah.
It's a 9-minute consumption of cinnamon oatmeal and a mug of completely tasteless instant coffee.
Just the bleakest morning routine imaginable. And then he puts on his coat, and that fedora, which the narrator points out is a style men completely abandoned back in the 1960s,
Okay.
and he walks exactly 20 minutes to work.
Yep, the 20-minute walk.
And his job, he spends his days literally just moving digital files from an in tray to an out tray. And he's done this for 2 decades.
Isolated in his own little bubble.
Completely. Over 20 years, he has never met his boss. He's never interacted with a single coworker. So I look at all this and I don't see an average Joe at all. I see an NPC.
An NPC, like
Yeah.
a non-player character.
Yes,
Ah.
like a background character in a video game whose pathing logic is just permanently locked. I mean, real average humans, they hit the snooze button, they burn their oatmeal, they, you know, get distracted looking at their phones.
That's true. Humans are messy.
Right. Amadeus isn't a common man. I think he is a tragic victim of modern isolation who has completely detached from reality.
See, I read his character completely differently.
Really?
Yeah, I don't see a tragic victim at all, actually. I see a man who has highly engineered his reality and essentially, well, won the game of capitalism on his own terms.
Won the game by moving files from an in tray to an out tray.
Well, you're looking at his isolation as a deficit, right?
Yep.
But the script explicitly tells us his core motivation.
Yeah.
Amadeus hates being annoyed. That's his driving force.
Okay, sure. But who likes being annoyed?
Nobody. But he takes it to the logical extreme. To him, people are chaotic, they're emotionally demanding, they're unpredictable. So by entirely removing himself from the social contract, he isn't suffering.
You think he's happy?
I think he is completely empowered. He has built the ultimate defense mechanism.
But at what cost, though? I mean, he's existing in a total vacuum.
A vacuum is safe. And honestly, look at our own modern behaviors. We constantly try to buy our way into frictionless living.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Right.
Yeah.
Like we wear noise-canceling headphones on the train specifically to avoid conversation.
Guilty as charged?
We use self-checkout aisles so we don't have to talk to cashiers. We pay crazy premiums for food delivery apps just so a meal magically appears at our door without us having to even, put on shoes.
Right, avoiding that human interaction.
Exactly. Amadeus just took that exact same psychological drive to its absolute peak. He eradicated friction completely.
That is fascinating. But that desire for zero friction is actually what triggers the central irony of the whole story.
Money.
The money. Because he lives this incredibly ascetic, minimal lifestyle, his very average salary actually produces a surplus. After he pays for rent and oatmeal and instant coffee, he has money left over every single month.
Which is a problem for him.
A huge problem. Because for most people, a growing pile of cash means, oh, I need to take a trip to the bank or maybe set up a meeting with the financial advisor. But to Amadeus, a bank teller is a massive source of annoyance.
Small talk is friction.
Yes, small talk is friction.
So he applies this hyper-methodical brain of his to a problem he doesn't actually care about. He decides to invest the leftover funds in the stock market just to avoid having to go to the bank.
Right, and he knows absolutely nothing about finance.
Nothing. And more importantly, he has zero desire to learn. He doesn't want to research companies or read earnings reports. He just needs a system that entirely removes decision-making.
And his solution is just brilliantly absurd. He decides to invest alphabetically.
It's so funny.
He plans to start buying stock in companies that begin with the letter A and just slowly work his way down to Z. And the promotional poster actually highlights this. There's a small graph pinned to the collage labeled A, I, S, F, or R, with this red arrow pointing straight up.
And this is where Jerry Bader's script delivers just a massive critique of modern finance. Because Amadeus only ever makes it to the letter N.
Wait, really? Just to N?
Just to N. Because of this purely arbitrary alphabetical system, he ends up dumping 20 years of surplus cash into Amazon, Apple, Microsoft, and NVIDIA. By accident. Entirely by accident.
He accidentally built a stock portfolio worth $7 million. I love the mechanics of this so much because it isn't just about throwing darts at a board blindfolded and getting lucky. Amadeus is acting like a financial Roomba.
The financial Roomba. That is exactly it.
Right. He's just bumping blindly into the walls of the stock market, vacuuming up shares based on this incredibly strict, dumb algorithm, and he accidentally sweeps up a fortune.
But that financial Roomba metaphor actually explains exactly why his system worked.
What do you mean?
Well, if you look at the efficient market hypothesis, or even just basic behavioral economics, human investors constantly fail because of cognitive overload and emotional bias.
Oh, sure. People panic sell when the market drops.
Exactly. They panic sell. They chase trends because of FOMO.
Right.
But Amadeus,
Yeah.
he feels nothing. He has no emotional attachment to the money. He has no fear of losing it. And he has zero interest in checking the daily ticker.
He buys and holds purely because changing his strategy would require effort. It would be annoying.
Precisely.
Yeah.
The tagline on the poster is bizarre choices, extraordinary consequences. It's basically mocking the entire industry of tailored suit financial experts who go on TV and try to predict the future.
Right. Finance bros.
Yeah. Amadeus proves that ultimate apathy can sometimes yield ultimate success. The people who obsess over wealth often destroy it, while the guy who sought only the path of least resistance becomes a millionaire without even noticing.
It's such a dark irony. So we have this invisible, utterly detached millionaire. And if he had just stuck to his alphabetical investments and his 7:27 a.m. wake-ups, he probably would have died an anonymous wealthy ghost.
But the system breaks.
Yes, it hits a snag. The frictionless life hits a major snag on his 20-minute walk home one day.
Because he passes the exact same storefronts every single day. But something in the window of Betsy's gift shop finally pierces his armor.
He sees a greeting card. It's just displayed in the window. And scrawled across the front of this card is a highly unusual word.
It's his own name.
Amadeus. The narrator describes this as a sign. For the first time in 2 decades, Amadeus breaks his routine. He actually pushes the door open and walks into the shop.
And instantly collides with the exact chaos he has spent 20 years actively avoiding.
Oh my gosh, the interaction is excruciating. It's so hard to listen to. The woman behind the counter isn't Betsy. She explicitly tells him, "I'm not Betsy, there is no Betsy," and she just ignores him to paint her fingernails red.
She's so rude.
She mocks him. She mocks him for wanting a card with his own name on it, asking if he plans to mail it to himself. And when he insists on buying it, she charges him an outrageous $9.95.
For a single card.
Yes. And then when he asks for the yellow envelope from the window display to go with it, she demands an extra 5 cents.
And she hands it to him, smeared with wet red nail polish.
Oh, Yeah.
and offers zero apology.
Oh,
She
no.
just pockets his $10 bill without giving him his change or even a basic thank you. It is pure, unfiltered hostility.
Which, if you think about it, completely shatters his character logic.
How so?
Well, if Amadeus's prime directive is to avoid being annoyed, he should have walked out the second she ignored him, like enduring extortion and mockery from a clerk just to buy a piece of paper. That contradicts everything you know about him.
Unless, and hear me out, unless the friction was exactly what he was looking for.
Looking for it.
Yeah. You called him a tragic victim earlier, but consider the alternative. For 20 years, Amadeus has been a passing shadow. Seeing his name in that window was concrete proof that he actually exists in the physical world.
So you think he endured the hostile clerk because he was desperate for validation?
I do.
That deep down, no matter how thick the walls of our routines are, we all possess this, like, primal human desire to be seen?
Yeah, I think he was stress testing his own reality. When you insulate yourself so completely, you eventually just go numb. That clerk, with her extortion and her wet red nail polish, she was undeniable reality.
She's definitely real.
She's infuriating, yes, but annoyance is a feeling. It's a sensory experience. The human stock photograph suddenly demanded to be a specific, named person, even if it meant paying $10 for a ruined envelope. He proved to himself that he was alive.
Wow. Okay, when you put it like that excruciating interaction at the gift shop actually makes his one other daily habit make perfect sense. Georgie. Because if the clerk represented pure, chaotic friction, his interaction moments later on the street corner represents pure, unearned grace.
It really does.
Having secured this expensive, nail-polish-smeared piece of validation, he walks over to Georgie the popcorn man.
Georgie is the complete counterbalance to the entire story. He's this fixture on the corner, appearing every single afternoon, regardless of the weather.
Rain or shine. And every single day, Amadeus buys exactly one burnt sugar taffy sucker from him. Just one. And Georgie has this thick Greek accent, and even though he doesn't know Amadeus's name or anything about his actual life, he always greets him the exact same way.
Maestro.
Yeah, he calls him Maestro and tells him he's a good soul.
And notice the choice of candy, too, in the writing. Burnt sugar taffy.
Oh, right.
It's sweet, but it has an edge to it. A slight bitterness. It's a highly specific sensory choice for a man who otherwise eats completely tasteless oatmeal. Georgie provides the one moment of daily warmth in an otherwise completely sterile existence.
That's a great detail. And on the day Amadeus buys the card, the dynamic with Georgie suddenly shifts. Amadeus reaches for his pocket to pay for the taffy, but Georgie shakes his head. He refuses the money.
Which is so unusual.
Right. He just smiles and says, no, you're a good soul, Maestro. Very good soul indeed. And he just reels his card away.
Georgie completely removes the transaction from their relationship in that moment. It's no longer about a customer buying a piece of candy. It's just one human being offering a small kindness to another.
Yeah.
On a day where Amadeus was profoundly annoyed and extorted by the woman in the gift shop, Georgie offers complete, frictionless consistency.
And it clearly impacts him deeply. So Amadeus goes home, he eats his frozen dinner, watches TV until 11 p.m. and goes to sleep. But the next morning, the biological automation fails.
It finally breaks.
The bedside clock ticks over to 7:27 a.m., but Amadeus's eyes remain closed.
And the landlord eventually finds him at the end of the month, right? When the rent check doesn't slide under the door like it usually does, Amadeus is dead in his bed. And lying on his chest is the burnt sugar taffy sucker.
And on the nightstand is the yellow envelope, still smeared with that red nail polish. It's addressed in his incredibly average handwriting to whoever finds him. The landlord opens it, pulls out the $9.95 card with Amadeus on the front, and finds a handwritten will.
This is the best part.
Amadeus leaves his entire estate, including his accidental $7 million tech stock portfolio, to Georgie the popcorn man.
$7 million.
All to Georgie. And his justification is written in a single sentence. He never annoyed me.
It really forces you to evaluate the immense power of passing interactions. To Georgie, Amadeus was just a quiet, quirky guy on the corner. But because Georgie offered warmth without demanding anything in return, without demanding friction, he became the absolute center of Amadeus's universe.
It's wild to think about.
It asks you to think about the invisible people in your own daily routines. The barista, the bus driver, the person you just nod to in the elevator. What impact are you actually having on them? In this story, a simple, unannoying kindness resulted in a $7 million legacy.
And Georgie's reaction to inheriting that massive fortune is, I think, the emotional anchor of the entire narrative. When he is told about the $7 million, he doesn't celebrate.
Not at all.
He doesn't scream or jump for joy. He just quietly repeats his usual phrase, "Thank you, maestro. You're a good soul. A good soul." It just completely confirms that his kindness wasn't an act. It was entirely genuine humanity.
It's a beautifully melancholic ending. Amadeus Nickels, the shadow of a shadow, leaves behind this extraordinary legacy simply by accidentally picking the right alphabetized text stocks and rewarding the one person who offered him peace.
It's beautiful. But Jerry Bader leaves us with one final lingering mystery that I think completely recontextualizes the ending.
And cause of death.
Yes. The narrator makes a point to explicitly tell us that Amadeus was perfectly healthy. There was no underlying disease, no heart condition, absolutely nothing medical that would cause a sudden, silent death in his sleep.
He was physically fine. The machinery of his body was in perfect working order.
Which raises a genuinely terrifying question. Did he actually die of natural causes, or did the shock of breaking a 20-year routine literally kill him?
Oh, that's dark.
Think about it. He stepped into Betsy's gift shop. He demanded to be seen. He engaged in the messy, infuriating reality of human connection and experienced the raw, unfiltered friction of genuine annoyance.
And that overloaded his system.
Did stepping out of his frictionless vacuum cause the gears to jam entirely? Did the sheer weight of being a real person crush the man who wasn't there?
Wow. That is definitely something to consider the next time you put on those noise-canceling headphones to avoid the world.
Absolutely. Well, that wraps up this deep dive into the extraordinary life of Amadeus Nickels. Keep questioning your routines, and we'll catch you on the next one.
I'm a man who's drawn in pencil on a page that's turning brown. I'm the ghost of every footprint in the center of the town. But the rain comes down to wash the street, and I'm just incomplete. Oh, I'm the shadow of a shadow, the echo of a sigh, the echo of a sigh, the echo of a sigh. A common man of no importance, just a passing by, just a passing by. If you looked into a mirror, if you looked into a mirror, and you saw a vacant space, would you recognize the silence as the features of my face? I'm a riddle with no answer, dear. I'm the sound you'll never hear. So don't you weep for some who wasn't there, who wasn't there. Don't you search the empty air, who wasn't there, who wasn't there. I'm a nondescript reflection of a man who didn't care. No, I'm the man who wasn't there, just a passing by, just a passing by.